Welcome back to the iceHQ ice rink in a Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, on Wurundjeri traditional land, where we are about to see the third game of day 2 of the CCM National Women's Tournament here at iceHQ, and it will be between the West Australian Ice Quokkas in the Bumblebee black and yellow, and the Melbourne Reds. Melbourne Reds so far undefeated. They've had 2 very convincing wins. The Ice Quokkas have played extraordinarily well yesterday, and they've made the big trip over from Western Australia, and they have played very well, and they've got some very experienced expert coaching, and I'm sure they will have been watching the Reds and trying to formulate a plan for how to beat them. The Reds too, coached by Steve Bellick of Melbourne Mustangs and iceHQ coaching fame. He's been around for a long time and is an expert coach, and he will be up to the challenge as well. Both teams with full benches, so fatigue won't be much of an issue, but both teams also played 2 games yesterday. It's not often that you play what will end up being 4 games in 2 days. It's a big ask on anyone, especially for the West Australian team who've made the long trip across the Nullarbor to come over here to play. We are delighted to have them here with us, of course. We're very thrilled to have this tournament take off so quickly and so effectively. We're absolutely delighted with the turnout with the 6 teams from Perth, Adelaide and Central Coast New South Wales. It is a great thing to see for the growth of women's hockey in Australia. We're delighted to have it. This matchup will be in 3 15-minute periods with 1 minute intermission between them, which doesn't give the coaches much time to do any resetting. If they need to give any instructions, it needs to be done very rapidly or on the fly throughout the game. It's a challenge to coach with short breaks. You don't have that 10 minutes to go and sit in the rooms and have a bit of yap and get your breath back. It's really just get a couple of quick breaths and the coach will say 1 or maybe 2 things if you're lucky, and then get straight back into the game and away you go. Both teams very, very highly skilled individually. The Melbourne Reds has a number of players who were recently in the state team, but not in the AIH, Australian Women's Ice Hockey team. So they've got some pretty good players. So too, Adelaide have some very powerful players as well. Maddie Smith in goals for the Quokkas, with Gargano in goals for the Melbourne Reds. Gargano has yet to be really tested. Hopefully this evening the Quokkas can give her a bit of a workout for them, and we will see how they go. Again, the Melbourne Reds obviously in red jerseys, and the West Australian Ice Quokkas in the black with yellow and white, the traditional West Australian Bumblebee jersey. And it does look very good on the ice. They are an outstanding kit, but the red on the Melbourne Reds is a pretty amazing colour too. So both teams very well turned out. Fresh referees today for this game. The previous 2 referees have gone for a break, so we've got new legs in the refereeing team. And we'll be lining up for our opening face-off in just a few seconds. The referee on the ice at the moment, Craig Armstrong. Craig, one of the key organisers of this tournament. He was just in here with me a little bit earlier. Very experienced referee indeed. Nothing much will get past him as the Reds might get a little bit of a tap on the shoulder for hurry up. We've had time to have a chat. That's what getting changed was for. So come out now and line up. One of the more dominant players for the Reds yesterday in the first game was Simone Leach. She's imperious with her goal scoring. She was a bit tired in the second game. We'll see if she's recovered and can be as potent this evening as she was yesterday in the first game, as we're about to get the game underway. And the puck drops 1 through the middle by the Reds, straight back to the West Australians, who try and clear the puck out of the zone, but it's still stuck in by the Reds with a shot through the slot, in through traffic. Loose puck bobbling around in the slot, juggling around and wiped off. Desperate save there by Madeline Smith. We'll see that on the replay. Puck straight in, and Melbourne immediately showing their intentions. Loose puck bobbling around, but Smith manages to keep eyes on it, swallow it up, and the first attacking face-off for the Reds. Puck drop 1 again by the Reds. Cashin plays the puck back out to the point, but it just bobbles out and not quite able to control the puck on the blue line, the Reds. As the puck now deep into the attacking zone for the Reds, but West Australia rim it around the outside nicely. Good play by them. No icing for that puck. It's gone down the other end, but there'll be no ice as the Reds go back to tidy it up. But good forechecking pressure there by the Quokkas. Now the breakout across to Leach. But she's just outplayed there a little bit on defence. Puck in the corner for Simone. She looks for the pass across into the middle of the slot, but not able to make it clean. Good pressure again by the Quokkas. This is pressure that the Reds not used to so far. But Leach finds that opportunity, finds the gap, and sticks the puck past Smith for the first goal of the game very early on in the piece. If you give Simone any room, she will do that to you all night. She's got a great shot in close. Very dangerous player indeed to play against. Very effective here in the beer league. And we've just seen why. Not the start that West Australia would have wanted. 2 minutes in with the Reds with 1 goal up. Reds trying to win the puck through Cashin, but just breaking out by Jenna Mitchell for the Quokkas. Cashin now ridden into the boards nicely by the West Australian defence, not giving Cashin any room at all. This time Mitchell not quite able to clear the puck. But West Australia still back in numbers. And they break the puck out deep into the defensive zone for the Reds. The puck down the other end. No ice again. The puck was touched. Good aggressive 2-player forecheck by the Quokkas. The puck across to Marie Newell, not quite able to finish it off. And it goes back to the safe hands of the West Australian defence. Passing across the ice. But stolen by Justine Kulak. But a bit of messy puck in the middle of the defensive zone for the West Australians, and they clear it out. Reds offside at the moment. And the puck just pinned on the blue line, but West Australia get it out. But to the rushing Kozala, but she wasn't able to do anything with it. Taylor Lester now with the puck gets it across to the middle. Still with the Reds owning the top of that attacking zone well and getting passes across. West Australia are outnumbered at the moment behind the slot. But now the West Australian defence gets back and gets organised. West Australian Quokkas clear the puck out. They've got a 2-on-1. The pass across, not quite as crisp as it needed to be, but it was a good option. Just a little bit lacking in the execution for the West Australian breakaway. They had a chance there for a nice counter-attack, and the Reds have given away an icing. So promising attack by West Australia. They're getting opportunities. The Reds defence challenging high and occasionally getting caught out. They were doing that yesterday as well, and occasionally lucky to get away with it. They did give chances away that they perhaps need to be a bit more careful about in future as the D challenges high without a significant back check from the forwards. But they got away with it. At the end, it's the scoreboard that matters. The puck just comes out for the West Australians. And Howe looking to break down the middle, but the pass not able to come across to her. West Australia now with a 2-on-1. Into the corner. Shot on the net. It's lost somewhere. The referee's lost sight of it, blown it up. The puck's gone out of play. Not a good opportunity for the Reds to score 1 goal to the Reds, none to the Quokkas with 10 minutes and 30 seconds to play. A little bit of confusion about a change here. We're not running stop time. Face off won by the Reds. Sorry, won by the Quokkas. Down into the corner to maintain the pressure for the attack. Brewer on the blue line looking to back check quickly as she gets stepped around by Howe, who skates in towards the goaltender and Smith, but gets ridden away to behind the net, not able to get a clean shot away. Good cycling attack by the Reds. Simone Leach floating around unmarked again. The West Australians will have to do something, but they don't need 2 players on it. You just want the one. And the Reds take it back under control and then dump it clear of the boards. Just moving back to suck the West Australian forwards in deep, putting them offside. Leach, sorry, not Leach. 16 gets a shot away for the, that was Nelly Brenning trying to get a shot away, but ridden off into the boards by Smith. Another chance for the Victorians. Neela Brenning with another good shot, but this time Smith swallowing it up safely, making no mistake. So an attacking zone face-off for the Reds, who win it cleanly. Cashin gets a shot on through traffic. Smith swallows it up and deflects it into the corners. And a little puck battle. West Australians going back in numbers for those puck battles and possibly overcommitting on them. So it's a tactical choice that you can make. And it does mean if two of you are in on that puck battle, you better win it, because then there's a loose player. It is a difficult thing because you see your teammate in trouble and you think, I want to go and help them, but sometimes he's not the best choice. Puck just being ridden around the back of the net by the Reds. Pass up high to Newell, but she's not able to finish it off. Puck dumped deep into the corner again for the Reds. And this time Cashin throws a sneaky little backhand, but not much on it. And it's kept in easily. But then the puck broken out by the West Australians. And we've got an infraction. Looks like it might have been just offside. So with 7 minutes and 45 seconds to play, the Melbourne Reds 1 goal, the Quokkas 0. 6 shots on the net to the Reds, none so far for the Quokkas. As Taylor Lester tries to make her way through traffic. But as the puck stolen from her. Still gets another go. And the puck loose in the neutral zone. And two ball for the Reds, tidying it up. And she goes into the boards and looking for an opportunity to pass back to her point. But West Australia now with a chance to clear the puck out if they can clear the stick, and they do. The puck's out of the zone. So the Reds all offside. But the referee's hand again up for some infraction. We'll have the face-off just outside the attacking zone for the Reds. Lester taking the face-off and winning it through, but not going in quickly to get the puck. But just a slightly missed cross-ice pass with the D-to-D. And a little bit of messy puck handling by Maverick, not quite able to keep it under control. Cameron looking for the puck up on the point for the Quokkas, but the puck stolen by Sobol, and it goes back behind the net for another breakout for the West Australians. This time Cameron, almost managed to get the puck out, but Sobol keeps it in again for the Reds. But no significant forecheck. Although the puck stolen by a cheeky little move by Marie Jasinkas, I think that was, who picked a pocket of the circulating West Australian defence. Loose puck in the high slot. An opportunity now for a breakout by Harper, and she's got no one in front of her. She's barreling in, has a shot from a distance, but rips it around the side of the net. And Gargano not having to touch that one. It doesn't count as a shot because it wasn't on the net. It's a good opportunity, and those chances will keep coming. The Reds' defence does like to pinch in. They get a bit bold. And when they do that, that does open up the chance for a winger to get past them with a bit of speed, and that's exactly what we saw. But you have to finish with a shot on the net. As Wayne Gretzky will tell you, if you ever choose to listen to him, if you don't put on the net, it's not going in the net. Beautiful save there, swallowed up by Smith with some pressure from Nella Brenning. Australia trying to get the puck out of their corner again this time. 4 minutes and 50 seconds to play, and we have 1 goal to the Reds, none to the West Australians. The West Australians looking dangerous though when they get breaks. They just need to get the shots on the net. Sayers calling for the puck as Scene is trying to look for an option up the ice, but now the Reds come back with speed, and that's Cashin through the right-hand side, passes across ice, but the beautiful pad save made by Smith again. There's a beautiful opportunity there for the Reds, but Smith up to the challenge. Puck comes bobbling. It's a loose, bobbling puck in front of the net. Can the West Australians clear it? Oh, puck goes across to Leach, but she's not able to control it. Now she makes the pass across, and the puck safely behind the net for West Australia. No one quite aware of where it is. We can see it from here. And the West Australians try and clear it out, but only as far as the half wall, where Howe picks it up, gets a shot in from a distance. Nasty bounce, but it misses everything, including the net. Puck dumped into the corner. Scene goes to try and pick it up, but she's got to deal with the presence of Simone Leach. who's already scored the first goal, and seen battling for the puck on the boards with Marie West Linnet, but now the West Australians get a chance to clear the puck out as the Reds are changing. But Frost tidies it up for the Reds. Doesn't manage to get a shot on. West Australian defence in position and holding it out. And Jenna Mitchell just had the puck stolen for her. She tried to take the puck out and carry it clear of the zone. Reds with another option, but Newell not able to quite tidy up that loose bouncing puck as Frost fires it in deep on the net again through traffic. It's saved first by Smith. A very loose puck and the referee's lost sight of it. Gone maybe just a little bit off its mooring, but although everyone lost sight of the puck, it wasn't in the net, and Madeline Smith makes another save to keep the Reds in the game. You'll see it here on the replay from the Top Gun camera. Reds dominating possession, but Smith with an excellent kick save. Steele now with a chance for the West Australians, and puck comes straight across, but it's picked off by Howe, but ridden straight back in, and a shot by the West Australians. 2 rebounds, and the puck behind the net. Loose player in the slot for West Australia in, might have been Steele. A bit hard to read the number from here. Cashin has a shot, but straight into the pads of Storm, who does a committed save and a number of bouncing pucks until finally Smith does the goalie thing and shuts it all down. She's been put under a lot of pressure so far. 14 shots on Smith for just the 1 goal. She's doing a great job. Goaltenders against the Reds have performed extraordinarily well, and Smith no stranger to the sort of constant pressure. Puck through the top of the slot, loose again. No one able to get the shot away. This time Taylor puts the puck into the back of her own player, just with a bit of a speculatory shot. And the puck bobbles out, but Sobol back to tidy it up for the Reds. She carries around just a little bit of a cheeky poke, but it goes straight to Zucks, who's knocked off her feet by Sobol, and will get a penalty for the Reds, which will give the Ice Quokkas the first power play of the game. Just a little bit of a shove in the back means 2 minutes in the naughty corner, and the Quokkas with the first power play of the game. We'll see what if they can get quality shots on the net, give themselves some good opportunities. Quokkas with the face-off up to the winger on the point. Choosing to play one defensive player quite a long way back behind the blue line in Storm, perhaps being mindful of that quick counter-attack of the Reds. Now the Reds are stalling a little bit, so one way to run the clock down. Referee well within their rights in that sort of situation to ping him for delay the game and give him a bench penalty, but they're not going to do that today. Well, it doesn't seem as if they will. Reds now with a counter-attack. Short-handed goal, still racing back for the West Australians to try and negate that. Now, as the Reds are well committed and deep, this gives West Australia a chance on the counter-attack to move quickly up the ice, and they do to Mitchell, who skates through the middle. Can she get a shot on the net? It's not much of a shot, but it's a shot, and that's all it needs to be. And Gargano swallows it up, and that concludes the first period. The Quokkas will be starting the second on the power play. Not sure exactly how much time they'll have on it, but the score at the moment, 1 goal to Simone Leach for the Melbourne Reds, scored early on in the game, and she had a little bit too much room to move. The Quokkas will be starting the first and second period with 1 minute and 8 seconds of power play. See if they can get that a little bit organised. They did get one decent scoring opportunity. The Reds committing very deep on the forecheck on their penalty kill, which is a risky strategy. They obviously working on the assumption that they can get back quickly enough to cover any West Australian counter-attack. But it is a risk. Hockey's about taking calculated risks, and that's a big one in their case. But I'm sure it's a conscious decision. They're not just randomly puck chasing, or at least we hope not. I don't think Steve Bellick would coach in that way. He would be encouraging a disciplined performance from his team, although they haven't played together before. So new teams always struggle a little bit with set plays and those sorts of strategies, and how they implement them. Different coaches with different ways, different methods. It can lead to players sometimes getting caught in two minds. But Sobol heads back over into the box for the Reds. She'll be sitting out the first minute and 8 seconds, unless the West Australians can score a goal in the meantime. Watch for the Reds to stall a little bit. If they do, watch for the referees to be harsh on it, because they should. Shouldn't be allowed to run a penalty down in that way. Reds now with the puck in the hands of Sayers, who takes it in. No, it's not Sayers, that's Nella Brenning again, who's playing a commanding game. And she gets a shot on, but Smith makes the save. A bit slow to get to her feet. She's got a little bit tangled up. But to the advantage of the Reds, that's running the clock down. It's 10 seconds or so, 15 seconds, 20 seconds more of penalty that they don't have to kill, because the referees are doing it for them. Not intentionally, it's just when the play stops. The clock doesn't in this particular format, 15 minutes periods with no stop time. And Brenning again trying to get the puck across the front of the net. Very nearly managing to stick the puck in. His number we can't see from here on the point, but the West Australians pinned in their zone. They finally managed to get the puck out. So it's going to dribble down the other end, and the harsh irony of that is they're going to get an icing, because they're not the ones on the penalty kill, they're on the power play, so they do get icing calls, and that wipes off the penalty for the Reds because it runs them out of time. We're back to 5-on-5 with 13 minutes and 42 seconds to go in the second period here at iceHQ in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia. Reds up 1 goal to the Quokkas 0. Face off again won by the Quokkas. But the Reds capitalising on possession. And well, they've got the puck. They just found a little bit on the clearance there. That Frost not quite able to clear it out in the way she would have liked. She had a bit of a swing and a miss. Puck behind the net for the Quokkas. Nice pressure by Sutton, who rides the puck in deep, giving the West Australian team a chance now. The puck in the corner for the Reds, but they haven't cleared it cleanly. Puck still bobbling around the half boards as Cashin tries to ride it out, but Sutton again on the point keeps holding the blue line firm. Howe for the Reds almost clearing it out, but the West Australians tidying it up now. Anshin for the Reds managed to take it out. And Maureen Newell for the Reds, a little battle with Scene from the... and Newell puts all of her team offside, but the referees haven't seen that one. As Craig will point out, it's a weakness of the two referee system. They didn't see the offside. You could see it quite clearly from here, but the referees decide reality. We're just interested spectators. And the breakout by the Reds across to Cashin. She'll be looking to get a shot away fairly quickly. Rides into the corner, tries to shoot across, but it just goes harmlessly behind the net. Got a little bit casual on the skate in, but Red still with pressure, and they run into a wall of West Australians. And welcome to iceHQ. We'll take ownership of your barn, I think was the words exchanged. Shot in by Howe, but well saved by the very capable hands of Madeline Smith. You see that one. Madeline Smith well covering that. She makes it look easy, as all good goaltenders do. Good positioning makes difficult saves look like easy ones. As we have the face-off, this time won by the Reds. We're back to Western Australia, looking to clear the zone and break out for another counter-attack if they can. Puck up high in the offensive zone, bounces off Steele, and the West Australians now with a rush. Steele looking to pass across, but picked off by Sobol. Steele on the forecheck, trying to chase around behind the net as the Victorian team tries to clear out of the zone, but it deflects across, and Lester for the Reds now with some time. Attempts to deke around the West Australians, but Zoe Sutton well up to the deke and wasn't fooled. The puck goes back into the offensive zone past Sobol for the Quokkas, but they break it out. The Reds break it out through Taylor, but she's not able to hold possession. Messy puck on the sideboards. Steele now with a chance to get a shot on, but she gets a stick in the way and doesn't get clean pass, doesn't get a clean shot as she reads the dummy by the Reds. Nicely read by the Reds. Zuckus and Costello have a collision, but no harm, no foul. And the puck around the back in defence for the Ice Quokkas. Loose puck through the high slot. A little bit lucky there, the West Australians, and that didn't result in a shot. Leicester not able to get enough control on it to get a shot. And the puck cleared down the other end. No hand up for icing. No, we do have an icing call. And the Reds will have an offensive face-off with the West Australians deep in defence. With 9 minutes and 40 seconds to go, the Reds up a 1 goal to the Quokkas nil. 17 shots for the Reds to just the 2 from the Quokkas. But Madeline Smith doing a superb job in net, making it look easy. Not that it is, of course, but she makes it look easy. The West Australians winning the face-off, but the Melbourne Reds getting possession. Puck again into the glove of Smith for the Quokkas. And we have another face-off in the same spot. The Quokkas are a little slow to get themselves in and organised. This time the Reds win the face-off, but straight to a Quokka. And the puck bobbling around in front of the net. Smith once more. Sprawled on her front, makes the save. Wasn't a terrible lot on it, but it doesn't need to be. If it gets through you, it's a goal. Doesn't matter whether it's blasted in the back of the net, puts a hole in the tie, or just trickles over the line. The goal's a goal. So goalies always have to be careful. They finish it off. West Australia trying to break it out, but swamps Simone Leach now with the puck. She doesn't go for the shot, but passes across the net. Backhander shot by Nella. Nella Brenning not able to quite put it on the net. The gap was there, but she went a little bit wide of the net. And Leach just floating around menacingly, unmarked. The Quokkas will need to be very aware when Simone Leach is on the ice. If you let her sit in a high slot, sooner or later, just like Ovechkin, she's going to fire it past the goalie. And she did that in the first period. The West Australians need to be conscious of the fact that she's floating around unmarked. Really keep their heads on swivels and try and read that a little bit better to give themselves a better chance. They also need to sharpen up these changes. They are going to get done for delay the game. So they've got a caution. Craig blowing a caution on them. Their changes running the clock down. If they do it again, they'll get a bench penalty. So what that means is when the players change, they've only got 5 seconds to do it. If they take longer than that, they're delaying the game. The puck still in deep for the Reds, get a shot across the front. Puck bobbles around the back of the net, but Smith deflects it into safety. And this time, Cashin circling around, trying to get a shot away, but sticks lifted nicely. The West Australian defence so far has been pretty sturdy. They've let a few chances go, but their goaltender in Smith has done a superlative job. The referee's got their hand up for a foul on the West Australians by the look of it. And as soon as they touch the puck, they will stop the clock. And this time the Reds with the power play. As Hannah Everly is escorted to the naughty corner. And this time the Reds with the power play. Let's see how the West Australians set up their penalty kill. They've got just the 4 players that can ice it if they want. That's the face-off won by the Reds. Nice pass across to Newell, but she's not able to connect on the puck and put it in. She rides it back up to her point, but the point not able to keep the puck in. West Australia now with Steele and Holman driving in deep. It's a risky tactic, but they're counting on speed. And if they get someone past them here, they've got a problem as Newell floating around in the slot, in the middle of the neutral zone looking for an option, but it all got a bit tangled up. And we will have a reset. This break is in the favour of the Quokkas because it's running the clock down. Every stoppage is good for a penalty kill in non-stop time. Quokkas lined up this time and ready. They've obviously heard the caution and got themselves organised. All they need to do is dump the puck all the way down the other end. What they want to do is score a short-handed goal. But they're maintaining their discipline. Beautiful piece of play there on the forecheck by Zooks. Veronica Zook's doing a great job. Almost gets a shot on the net, but a wall of red there defending it with just 50 seconds to go on the power play for the Reds. They haven't actually done terribly much. The West Australian team have done a great job of containing it. Now they need to hustle back and get back in numbers. If the D picks high and gets beaten, they have a problem. But this time, the pinch by Scene successful. Now the Reds carry it in. But harmlessly off to the left of the net, the shot. Just 20 seconds to go on the penalty. They try and take it behind the net. And Cashin passes across the slot. And the fan by Leicester, she'd be disappointed with that one. It was a great pass, but she didn't end up getting a shot. And all she's doing at the moment is standing on the puck and running the clock down for the West Australians, which they'll be delighted by. And they have back to full strength as Storm rejoins the game. And still doing that weird thing of immediately leaving the rink, despite the fact that the game is live. I don't understand that. You don't have to go straight off to the bench if you've come out of the penalty box if the game's live. Reds now trying to play the puck in. West Australians clear it out. And just an accidental touch of the puck on a change, but the referees won't ping them for that. Now the West Australians with a real scoring chance. Shot on and rebound. Written into the boards, the puck. And now the Melbourne Reds carry it out. But Simone Leach tried to carry it through, but ran into a wall and fumbled the puck. Uncharacteristic for her. Maybe she's still a bit tired from yesterday, which was a big night. And now this time she's got plenty of time and space. Simone from here has a good opportunity to get a shot, but dispossessed. Just being a little bit casual. The West Australian back check has plenty of urgency. And that's what they need if they're going to be a chance against the Melbourne Reds. The initial betting on this game, if there was some, and hopefully there isn't, was that the Reds were going to run away with it, but that's certainly not what we're seeing. This West Australian team, although they're conceding a lot of shots, Smith is keeping them in it with some great saves, and they haven't been great shots on the whole, but there's been some pretty decent ones. But what has been outstanding has been the West Australian back check. When they've been caught out, they've got back quickly, and they've met the rush by the Reds in numbers and shut it down. 2 minutes and 55 seconds to play in the second period. The Reds with a 1-goal lead. Newell for the Reds goes cross ice to Cashin through the neutral zone, but Cashin not handling it cleanly. He's ridden down into the corner, gets around a D, goes around the back of the net looking for a wraparound or a pass to Newell, but blocked by the West Australian defence. Cashin goes the backhand, but into a sea of feet, rights off some blades and the puck into the corner. Cashin shoots through traffic, but it bounces off everything, it comes out, and now the West Australians with a chance. Scene streaks forwards, but all she can get is just the slightest of tips on the puck. And the Melbourne Reds back in numbers, and they tied it up well. Cashin tries to carry it through. She's got time. Nice kick through. Cashin on her own in front of the net. Can she get a shot on? Or will Smith make the save? Smith, beautiful pad save. And the puck around the back of the net. Cashin, a little slow. Newell, sorry, a little slow to get to her feet as the West Australians try and tidy it up and clear out. Cashin now floating around in the slot, but she's marked up. The West Australian defence up to that challenge. Scene with another chance. Sorry, I tell a lie. Steele has an opportunity now on a breakaway. Shoots, but fans on the shot. Not able to get good quality possession. It bounces off the back of the goalie and goes into the net. And the West Australians have their first goal against the Reds. If you put it on the net and you persist and you just keep shoving away, sometimes you get those lucky bounces. And that's what it is. It rolls off the back of Viv Gargano, and we are tied up at 1 goal apiece. The West Australians very excited about that goal, as well they should be. They go back and thank their goalie for keeping him in it. But that's a persistence and a breakaway. And we did say earlier on that the Melbourne team is vulnerable to letting breakaways in behind them. Their defence does like to come up high. And when they get beaten, those chances come. And the West Australians punish them by scoring a goal. And the question is now, what will the Reds do? This is the closest game they've had so far. Their previous 2 games were not quite walkovers, but convincing wins. This one very close. And with 55 seconds to play in the period, we are all tied up at 1 goal apiece. The Reds in the hands of Leicester tried to get a shot away, and it is eaten up by Smith. And 40 seconds to play at the moment. This face-off, the West Australians a little slow to come across, but they have had one bench caution. Very slow on their changes, the West Australians. We'll need to sharpen that up a little bit, but in this particular case, it's in their favour. With 15 seconds to play, puck back to Blackman, who plays it up the boards for the Reds, but non-incomplete pass. And at this point, the West Australians probably looking just to finish off the period all tied up. Leicester not quite able to keep the puck under her feet. And that concludes the second period. And we are all tied up at 1 goal apiece. The Quokkas and the Reds, 1 goal each. 5 shots on the net to the Quokkas, 24 to the Reds. So on the shot count, the Reds have had the commanding part of the play, but they do leave options behind them. Their defence are pinching in, and they're letting the West Australians get behind them occasionally for those fast breaks. And when they do, that's when goals are being scored. And that's what we've seen. The Reds doing a pretty good job elsewhere on the ice, but they are vulnerable to the breakaway goal behind them, and they will need to shut that down, or they give the West Australian Ice Quokkas a real good chance. Coming in to the third period. What will they change? Will they make any differences? Who knows? And we're about to get underway in the third period here of Game 3 on Day 2 of the CCM National Women's Hockey Tournament here at the iceHQ Ice Rink in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, where we are all tied up 1 goal apiece to the West Australian Ice Quokkas and the Melbourne Reds. I think the Reds thought this was going to be easy, but nothing could be further from the truth. The West Australians have come here on a mission, and they've just scored the breakaway goal that they needed to put them back in the game. So we're all tied up. It may as well be 0-0. And 15 minutes to play in this game will decide the top of the ladder. Can the Reds stay there? They're not there at the moment, even though they've won the games because of the way the draw works at the moment. Puck on the half boards for the West Australians. Puck tied up under everyone's feet. Finally it comes clear, and the Reds look to break it out through Leach, and looking for the pass across the net. Loose puck in front of the net, bounces around, still loose. But Smith swallows it up under the pads, and the referee loses sight of the puck. The referee loses sight. They have to stop the game. Running for the Reds was carrying the puck down the side, but just not able to deal with it. West Australians still very slow on their changes. And a little bit disorganised. They're not getting the players on. That's a bit of a failure of the bench. There are things you can control, and one of them is having your players on the ice. So they need to do better at that. They just need to be a little bit better organised. They don't really want to run the clock down here. They want to score a goal if they can. This time they have an opportunity for the breakout. Cameron tries to get it around, and she does get through the pinching Reds defence in Neve Gallagher. She's quick enough to get back and clean up the mess, but they need to be mindful of that because the Reds keep doing it. And now the Reds with an attacking chance, getting around, but they put themselves offside. And Leach and Brenning offside there. And that was good back-checking pressure by Candice Maverick, putting some good pressure on, but she's gone for a stroll over for 2 minutes, and now we see a penalty for the West Australians. So the Reds now on the power play. So far, neither team has been particularly effective on their power plays. Penalty kills have been very good. West Australia have got to clear the puck out of their zone as a priority. Sayers very cleverly tries to tip around the back of it as everyone's digging for the puck in the corner. Cashin dumps it in deep, but all she does there is give it to the West Australians, who nice little move around behind the net, making themselves some space. And Jenna Mitchell now stabilises it for the West Australians, but just stolen by the Reds. The West Australians pinned behind their net at the moment. Plenty of urgency in what they're doing, but they've got to clear the puck out of the zone fairly quickly because their goalie won't save everything that happens. The puck goes to high slot, but the referee's got their hand up for another foul. We're not quite sure what it is. So I think it's a foul on the West Australians. They'll be going to a 5-on-3 in just a moment. So there was a bit of interference on Maureen Newell in the slot. West Australians touch the puck. If they touch the puck with any control, you can see the referee's hand up. The Reds at this point could actually pull their goalie if they wanted to, because the West Australians can't score a goal. And finally, West Australia with possession. And we have an interference penalty and a goal mouth play. And the West Australians will have to do another penalty kill. The last one successful. They were a bit lucky on it, but it was a successful penalty kill. And that's Hannah Everly doing 2 minutes. She will feel shame and then she'll be free. But it was a bit of push and shove, and sometimes that happens. The old saying in hockey is if you come into a house, expect to have to pay the rent. And if Maureen Ewell was floating around in the slot, she was going to get pushed around, and she's little. So the bigger player typically gets the penalty if someone falls over. Sobol for the Reds, looks to shoot it in from the point. Does through traffic. Puck bobbling around in the front, but not able to finish it off. The Reds circling around once more. Now Lester tries to shoot it through traffic, but it deflects off everything. Sobol free on the point, but the Victorians not using it. Puck loose again, covered by Smith. The West Australians need to kind of get a little bit more room for themselves from behind the net, but now they cleared the puck out up through the half boards, but it comes up to the point for the Reds, looking for an opportunity to shoot it in. Not a clean shot by the Reds, and the puck harmlessly behind the net at the moment. Lester fishes it down out of the air, nice catch. But now she tries to wrap around, looking for the pass up to the high slide. It goes up to Gallagher, who shoots in, but the shot is again swallowed up by Smith. And we get a change, which runs down the clock for the West Australians, which is exactly what they want. Nice glove save there by Smith. It won't be too much longer until Hannah Everly gets herself out of the box. This is her second penalty. She's winning on penalty minutes at the moment. Not a statistic anyone really wants. But we do have 30 seconds to go on the penalty kill for the iceHQ. We can just dump it down the other end and be safe with it. And now the Victorians with a chance, but not able to finish it off. Nella Brenning not quite able to finish a great opportunity. Gallagher free on the point, calling for it. The pass doesn't come. And around the back of the net goes Danny Howe, but she passes out to Simone Leach, but Leach has the puck stolen and we're back to 5-on-5. And again, the West Australians just making a beeline for the bench when they're short on numbers. And it just seems to me to be a horrible mistake. And the Victorians capitalise on that. The penalty technically over at that point. But I still don't understand why you come straight out of the penalty box and you're fresh, you've been sitting there for 2 minutes, and take yourself straight out of the play and introduce more of a delay. It leaves you short-handed for longer. It's just, I don't understand it. I'm sure there's a reason, but it's cost them a goal, so it's not a good reason. The Australians now with a 1-goal deficit. The Reds busting through the middle from the face-off. Howe gets a shot across the front of the net, but Smith this time closes down everything and the puck is safely frozen. So the Reds with a bit of a fortunate break there on that penalty. The goal did come afterwards. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey, and face-off won by Zirkus from the iceHQ. Puck out behind the back of the net. Brewer plays it around, looking for her winger. Gets the puck up high, but the Melbourne Reds not able to clear it. And out it comes, but Reds back in numbers. 1 forecheck in Cameron for the iceHQ, but it's brought up to Bronwyn Cashin, who's looking. She's got 3 Reds. She's got 3 defenders with her. She's got a player who's just cycling around in high in the slot. No, a little bit lucky there through traffic was Smith. As Justine Krulak fired that shot through traffic, and Smith just got eyes on it at the end, which was just enough. West Australians with a good face-off win, back to safety. But they're going to need at some point to throw caution to the wind. If they're still down by a goal with a minute or so to go, watch for them to pull their goalie and try and go 6-on-5 see if they can take a win. Reds with a takeaway, and you can just see a nice coordinated defensive run by Maverick and Taylor. Sorry, and Maverick and Harper, I think it was there for the Ice Quokkas in defence, just providing a black and yellow line. Now out comes the puck for Sayers. Can she win the race? There's two West Australians, but the puck just swooped out, and the West Australians all offside with some desperate back-checking by the Reds defence. Maverick and Krulak with a little bit of a coming together on the boards, but no harm by that. A few elbows being tossed around. Sayers tried to get the puck past right, but not quite able to. The West Australians finally clear it out of the zone. It comes to Sayers, who's looking for passing option in Mitchell. Mitchell carries it into the corner, and she's got options to pass to. Gets a lovely backhand shot across the front of Gargano, who has to keep playing the puck. It's not coming out. But here come the Reds in numbers. There's two West Australians back, and Storm does a great job of clearing the puck away. Krulak runs into her and well barreled over. It's a game of mass there, and the West Australian winning the size battle with a nice piece of defensive play. You're allowed to hold your ground. It's not a check. If a player chooses to skate into you, that's their problem. Puck bounces high through the neutral zone. Back to Sobuk. Passes nice cross-ice pass, but met by Taylor for the Reds, who passes off to Taylor for the Reds, because there's two Taylors here. One Taylor Lester and one Jay Taylor. Puck in deep for the Reds. They do have that small lead. They can be a little bit conservative, but they don't want to be too careful. But here they have a good breakaway chance with shot from a distance. It's one of those awkward bounces, but Smith just pads it off into the corner. Taylor Lester picking up the puck. The pass high. But, West Australian defence holding together at the moment. Now they have a 3-on-2 chance, but Taylor Lester comes back and cleans it up. Can Harper get the shot away? She does, but it runs into Lester's feet. More push and shove in the zone as the West Australians pretty keen. They're throwing everything at this game at the moment. They're offside at the moment. They can't head in until their captain, Kate Harper, gets out. But she's leading by example, and the puck swept away from the dangerous Simone Leach. The puck bobbling around the front. They give Simone that space. Simone tries to get another shot away, but it's just a little dribbler. And Smith closes it up. And we'll see good pressure on Simone Leach. They're not giving her room to move. The Reds 2, the Quokkas 1. 35 shots to the Red to 6 to the Quokkas. So the shot clock well and truly in favour of the Reds, but they haven't been able to convert it as well as they would have liked. Smith has done a superb job in net for the Quokkas. And the puck pinned into the corner. The oldie board battle as the Quokkas break it out through Cameron. Tries to go mid-ice, but it only gets as far as Leach, who dekes around, finds some space in the middle, gets a pass across to Howe. Howe with the shot on, but not much on the shot. She only fanned on it. Leach goes the wrap, sorry, not Leach. A wraparound attempt by Howe is again covered up by Smith. 3 minutes to play, a 1-goal margin to the Reds. Watch for the Quokkas to pull their goalie and go 6 on with a minute or so to go. And see if they choose to do that. It does. It's an all or nothing damn the torpedo situation. As Jenna Mitchell tries to carry it through, but she's beaten in the end by Leach, and the puck is swallowed up at the other end by Liv Gargano for the Reds. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go in this third period. Reds with a 1-goal lead, 2-1 over the Quokkas, and the Quokkas this time with an attacking face-off. Can they do anything from it? Can they get a shot from the face-off? They win it back. Can they play it back to their point, or is the point going to pinch in and get caught? And the D does pinch in a little bit. Cashin and Mackenzie and Maverick in a foot race. Cashin wins the race, but is ridden into the corner. Taylor comes in to try and clean it up, and the West Australians break out through Mitchell, who's on her own, gets a shot on the net, and it's in. That's a goal. We're tied up at 2 goals apiece, and the West Australians have gone wild on their bench. What a superb breakaway. That's where the Melbourne Reds are vulnerable. They do pinch in, and when they do get caught out like that, you get those breakaways. And Mitchell fires a ripper shot over the shoulder of Liv Gagano, and we're all tied up at 2 goals apiece. Superb shot there, 2 goals apiece, 8 shots to 37, but it's the scoreboard, not the shot clock, that tells you who's in winning the game. So we are having a little delay. The clock continues to click. There's no stop time in normal games. Cashin tries to charge through. The Victorian team will be looking to get 1 goal. There's only a minute left to play. Taylor lets Neve. Gallagher makes a run through. Deflected off. Nice save, Smith. It's going to be desperate as Neve gets pushed around in front of the net. The big West Australian defence not having a bar of her presence. You can get out of here. And Cashin goes into the corner to fish it out again, being defended by Sutton. Another shot through traffic by Justine Kulak, but not able to finish it off. I think the West Australians would probably be happy with a draw, but obviously they'd like to win it if they can. Shots from a distance, they get Campbell with a shot, Gallagher, with a shot from a distance, but it bounces again into West Australians. 17 seconds to go in the game. Storm crashes heavily into the board. The puck bounces out. There's only 10 seconds to play. There's no hands up for any fouls as the West Australians, can they put it on the net down the other end? 4, 3, 2, 1, and we have a tied game at the end of the 3 15-minute periods. No one expected that except possibly the West Australians, I suspect. The Victorian team came into that, the Melbourne Reds, thinking that they were going to win, and it was by how much. And the Ice Quokkas got those breakaway goals that the Melbourne team's always been vulnerable to. They do pinch in, and occasionally they get caught out. And when that happens, those 2 goals were scored against them. One was a bit of a lucky rebound over the back of the shoulders, but the other one was an absolute ripper of a shot. And all tied up at 2 goals apiece. So we will have about a 10-minute break, and then we'll be back for the next game.